11th Jackson County Commission meeting to order. Roll call, Ms. Erickson.
District 1, Tim Gavin. District 2, Jason Venable.
Present.
District 3, Dennis Miller.
Present.
District 4, Stacy Ledler.
Present.
There's a quorum present.
Invocation by Mr. Porter or pledge by Mr. Benton. Next item is approval of the minutes from the February 25th meeting. Had time to review those minutes, so this time we entertain a motion to approve those minutes. Motion, we have a second. Discussion. All those in favor say aye. Those opposed say no. The next item is approval of the meeting agenda. We have 9 items on our agenda this evening. Do we have any changes before we entertain a motion? However, we wish to approve that point. Anything else? Any questions or comments? Okay. 9 items in, leaving at 9 for now. We have a motion to approve those 9 items. Motion, we have a second. Discussion. All those in favor say aye. Those opposed say no. We have no awards or no one signed up for public comments. No old business, so we'll now move on to new business. And the first item is regarding Telmate, retired Greg Bartlett.
We are just address right here. Is that fine? I'm Greg Bartlett, former sheriff of Morgan County, and I now work with Telmate. In these little packets I give everybody, I don't think I gave one for that. I understand that your phone contract is up and it's time to be renewed, and I think you've already had Securus talk to you about doing the phones and maybe add that video visitation. And I've been up here a few months ago and talked with Chairman Guppy and Chief, and then I came up here just the other day and talked to the sheriff and the chairman. Kind of give you an idea of what we have to offer versus the company you've already got. Telmate is a company. It's we offer phone systems. Ours is more of an investigative tool for the investigators. It's not just a phone system where they can just record the calls and that kind of thing. The system actually it tracks the inmates' movements. It tracks their phone calls, tracks all their information. Tracks who puts money on their books, which is pretty important to investigators when they do, when they're looking into a case kind of thing. It actually tracks, now the system actually tracks their family, as far as they put money on their books, that kind of thing. So it's a smart system. Basically what we would do is put a kiosk in the lobby of the jail, and it's the kiosk where they put money on their books, but it also has you can see in the packet there, it has a picture of it. It's a card swipe. Where they swipe the driver's license just like they would, a credit card. And it gets the back of the Alabama driver's license. It's got a mag stripe reader, and it picks up that information, and we keep it. And they have to verify that information. It's what we call the Telmate Verified, and we track that information into our system. It even tracks through credit reports and that kind of thing. If they've applied for credit somewhere else, it tracks addresses. So what we'll gather their information, their last 4 digits of Social Security number, and we have to verify their address. And it's got to be a good address. Our customer service verifies those addresses. And once that's done, the sheriff and the sheriff's office in the jail, investigators will have access to that information. So every time somebody comes into the jail, that's what we were talking about the other day. They probably know 1 or 2% of the people coming into jail. I mean, it's as far as coming in and out of jail, regularly. Family members, uncles, aunts, cousins, and just friends of inmates in jail. It's very rare that you actually know who comes into your jail. And this system it tracks all that information. And they can't put money on the books. They can't put money on the inmate's account, their commissary account, or their phone account without giving that information up, which is Alabama law anyway. So they're supposed to have Alabama driver's license when they come into your jail anyway. So we're gathering that information for the sheriff and the investigators to be able to use as far as tying that information together with the inmates. What we also do with the Telenet Verified, this does the scheduling. This does the inmate, the visitation. We also offer visitation for the inmates and inmates' families. It's a video visitation. You probably talked about a little bit about last time with Securus. They have a point-to-point kind of visitation where it's kind of like Skype, basically. You know, but the office has to schedule that. Office, well, they can schedule it. The jail staff has to, manually, when somebody comes in, they have to, connect the two back, call back to the pod and connect the inmate. Our system, it's got its own scheduling system in it. It's got, the inmate can schedule a visit, the family member can schedule a visit. Staff doesn't have to mess with anything. They set up the parameters, Monday through Friday, or 8 o'clock to 4 o'clock, or 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock at night, whatever you want to do, and the system will track it. The system will allow visits to be scheduled by the inmates or by the inmate's family. So it kind of helps the staff where they don't have to go get an inmate, I think they're set up now where they do face-to-face, and it's going to save the staff from moving inmates around. There's safety issues also. It will, what we do is put an inmate kiosk in each one of the pods, so that way when the family member comes in, the inmate, they'll have a scheduled visit. It is set up on the kiosk itself, the visitation monitor. It'll show 9 o'clock, there's inmate Jones who's got a visit, 9:30, somebody else has got a visit. It is just it's got a schedule to sit there. So when it's time for visit, it announced that inmate Jones has a visit at 9 o'clock. The system actually announces to the pod. And the inmate just goes up, they have a PIN number, the same number they use on their phone. They will put their PIN number in, and the family member will put most of them use their phone number is their PIN number, the family side. They all do the same thing. They punch in their PIN number, and they're connected. So the staff actually has not had to do anything as far as moving an inmate or taking anything out of moving folks around the jail. The neat thing about it too, that it does, you can do commissary ordering on the kiosk. I think you got Keith, is that right? And we've got an interface with Keith already in other jails across the country. And they can order their commissary on these kiosks. They can move money from their commissary to their phone account by just punching in a number on the phones. It basically takes the staff out of delivering messages. Family members can deliver messages through these kiosks. They can send a visitation request to the inmate, and they can send a visitation request to the family. Once the schedule is set, if say the inmate gets a disciplinary and he gets taken, he loses his privileges for visit. Instead of the family member coming up here on a wild goose chase, and finding out and getting mad because they can't visit, our system will send a text message to the family or an email, and let them know that the schedule's been canceled and they have to reschedule. It's got so many more features. I've showed it to the sheriff and a couple of commissioners. The system will, on inmate side, they get a little more access to we can add your law library. That's been added since we've talked, and I think that's pretty important for y'all to have for lawsuit wise, is give them access to law library, and that's free of charge. We put that on there free of charge. So our actual cost is about $166,000 to put it in, upfront cost out of our pocket. Now, what our company does, they make the equipment. This is not a third-party vendor. The Telemate is designed this software. They've designed the equipment and make the equipment. So we don't sublease anything out to anybody else. We're the only inmate phone system that actually does that. So secure operate the jail, and it'd be a good thing for the public too. The public can, what the sheriff can do is open up a visitation. I can't remember. They get one free visit a week. Yeah, Saturday and Sunday. What we can do with this this thing is open up visitation Monday through Friday, or whatever the sheriff and the kind of thing sets it up. Then you got family can set it up. You can do it from 8 o'clock to 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock at night. As long as the lobby is open, family can come in and out and go and visit with their folks in jail. They can set up their visits because a lot of people they work get off at 4 o'clock in the afternoon and they can't visit, or they work on the weekends and can't visit. This way they can visit pretty much anytime, and also they can visit from home. So they can it's away from the visit from home. It's kind of like a Skype visit at home. The family member sets up an account and they have a webcam or iPad or whatever they want to use it for, and they can visit from the house. Now, the neat thing with this stuff is the tracking capability. The benefit for the sheriff's office is the way they track it. They can even visit from their iPhone. I mean, if they got an iPhone, they can visit from iPhone. But the tracking capability is they have to agree to visit from home or visit from remotely. They have to agree to use their GPS or turn their GPS on and for those visits. So actually, we get access to where they're at when they're visiting. The sheriff gets access to where they're at. So if you've got somebody visiting with a family member that you're looking for, warrant-wise, or that kind of thing, you've got instant access where they're at, where they're visiting from. I mean, if they're visiting from a hotspot at McDonald's or something like that, it'd be in the. Yes, sir.
If some of the pods, are all of the pods equipped with the cable that's needed to install that currently?
I can cover that.
Okay.
We will install the wiring and the electrical for that. There's no cost to the county commission whatsoever for us to put the equipment in. I think that's a big benefit. I mean, that'd be about $40,000 install if the county had to pay for the wiring or something like that. We'll pay for all that ourselves. There's no out-of-pocket cost for the county commission whatsoever.
Thank you.
Any questions? Comments? Okay. Do you have anything else, or?
I don't think so. What we'll do is do a breakdown of what the cost is. Once this replacement cost is paid for on the equipment, we would go back up to 50% revenue after that. So that'd be 20% more than you're making now.
I'd like to take the time, I guess, if there's no objection, and get a contract or a proposal from Security and Telmate, and then we can review that and be prepared to discuss that at the next work session and vote on that by the end of the month. Would that be sufficient for everyone? Any objection to that? So if we could get a proposal together.
You can renegotiate that contract to share revenue with the visitation system also, because the visitation system will make money. And that's how we help pay for it along the way. So it can make money also. So even the system's smart enough where if the inmate, their funds get down below $25 or $15, whatever we set it at, it'll send an email or a phone call to the family member and ask them if they want to add more funds to the inmate. So it generates as much revenue for the county as you possibly can.
Any other questions, comments? Sheriff, anything?
One thing I would like to mention is, I don't think right now we have any way to support the amount of money that's coming in. We don't receive the number of calls that are made. We just get a check. We can go to their website every month and see what's been done.
Yeah, that's one thing. This is a web-based system, so it's not we don't have to install our software on every computer in the jail or the sheriff's office. This is web-based. You can do it from a laptop. Actually, the judge, we can do court proceedings from the jail. The judges can actually use this system. So it's pretty easy to do. It's not a system that's going to cost you. Basically, it's not going to cost you a dime. And what Telmate, from me working with them, but their theory on this thing is make you happy enough you're never want to leave. So they since they've been in business, they've not lost one contract since they've been in business. So I think they'll make the county happy, make the sheriff happy, and you'll be happy with the revenue. Like I said, the revenue base And you can pull it up and it'll show how many calls have been made, what your revenue is for that particular day, the month, whatever report you want to run. You can, the sheriff will have access, or the county will have access. So all you do, it's all based on privileges into the system. And the sheriff can control who gets privileges and to record stuff. And I think we had DEA, at one time in Morgan County. I had the system in Morgan County. That's how I knew so much about it. And we let DEA and Decatur PD and other agencies have access to the system. And we just gave them a password, and if they put somebody in jail, they had access to the system. And they can listen to calls, download calls, record the calls. You can email the calls to the DA's office where they take you out of the chain of custody and that kind of thing.
We'll look for that contract and go from there.
Okay, sounds great. I'll get it to you.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Okay, next item is motion to approve expenditures for the month of January. You've had time to review, so entertain a motion to approve these expenditures. Motion, we have a second. Okay, any discussion?
Oh, excuse me, I've got to ride down.
Any other questions? We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Those opposed say no. Okay, next item, motion to approve letting bids of patch truck and paint truck. Before we proceed, Mr. Whiter, did you, I guess the information's in our packet here, or did you have some additional information on these?
I guess I feel like I talked this morning, I got a little bored. I did, on the patch truck, I did contact the company that we bought the previous one from. And this is just after packing parts of it in the truck. It is about the same price. I said it's been a couple, $200-$300. About the same price. So that price has not been up since we purchased that piece of equipment about a year ago. We're still about the same. Which that price was about $77,000. A few $100 over $77,000 for that. And whatever the truck was. Last time we used the old solid waste truck that that worked out real well for us. We could probably do that again. I think I've talked with y'all about the pros and cons of that. We talked about checking the valve off if they're surplus sale and seeing what they've got, stuff like that. See how what would be the best route financially to do that. The patching truck, I looked at actually found a company that sells these trucks, and I think it's the same one that Commissioner Bill looked at. And just confirming his prices, they are about 160 or 70 for the size we need. If we look, I want to go further with it, we can actually buy the paint and everything off of the state bid. If we do that, it's $8 a gallon, $8.11 a gallon. Just the materials for paints and beads would run $265 a mile off the state bid. And that's based on 27.5 gallons per mile. Right now we're paying our contractor $425 for all material labor and equipment. There's about $160 difference there, just on the materials what we purchase.
About how many miles are we trying to put in?
We spend, we normally, Commissioner, spend about, I know we spent about $40,000 already this fiscal year. We normally spend about somewhere around $50,000 to $60,000 a year on striping. And that can vary depending on if you put in just a center line or a center line and those lines. I have to go back this year and last week.
You have the bid specs. Do you have bid specs on these items?
I have bid specs on the Packer truck.
If you could get them both and then get a copy of that to all the commissioners in their box and review that as well.
It's going to take me just.
Other questions or comments right now? Do we have a motion on how to proceed? Do we want to table this or move forward?
I've removed my motion to table that. Really, just go ahead and bid it out.
Go ahead and bid it out? Okay, so motion to bid it out? And motion to bid further discussion? If you could give us a copy of those specs before we start that bid process. I'll take a look. Any other comments or questions? Okay, and is that time frame okay with everybody? We'll extend that time frame and also try to have something by this Friday on those specs, so we can bid that out. Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Those opposed say no. Okay. Next item, motion to concur with the temporary placement for Council on Aging Director and approve the recommendation from the Council on Aging Committee with regard to the vacant position. You have the letter in your packets on the recommendations for the placement of the Council on Aging Director, and also to concur with the placement as effective March 1st, when she was appointed as interim director. So entertain a motion to approve this recommendation.
I'll make the motion.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Those opposed say no. Okay. Next item, motion to approve the community safe room at Paint Rock Valley Park. I'll answer the questions we had from the previous one before we move forward with the motion. As far as in-kind, it looks like we had a number of about $6,150 that we could supply as far as in-kind goes on this item. We may be able to do some additional in-kind on some of the electrical. But basically, we're looking at approximately $18,000 from the county, and we would pull that from Fund 116 if we do approve this. That noted, we could and will, if everyone's in agreement, apply for a grant to pay for the full amount of this. If we don't get it, we still need to be prepared to spend that $18,000, but it could pay for the full amount of this if we pursue that grant. So with that information, before any further discussion, we have a motion to approve this item, this agreement.
So moved.
Motion, we have a second.
Second.
Okay, discussion on this item.
Is this Lee Helms contract just specifically for Paint Rock Valley Park?
This particular one,
Okay, so this is not just a general,
no, we'll go through, I don't know if the previous commission already approved the other one, but for each project, you'll see it
we'll have
different.
a different,
Any other comments or questions? Okay, all those in favor, we have a motion and a second, all those in favor say aye. Those opposed say no. Okay, and again, Fund 116, keep that in there. Okay, motion to amend the Articles of Incorporation for the North Jackson Water Authority. We had this presented to us last week, as far as combining these two boards, and there are two items we need to approve for 6 and 7 to do this. So at this time, for further discussion, we have a motion to amend those articles. Motion, we have a second.
second.
Any discussion on this item? Further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Those opposed say no. Next item, motion to approve resolution to assign assets to the North Jackson Water Authority. Again, presented to us last week, so at this time we entertain a motion to approve this item. Motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Okay. Any further discussion on this item? All those in favor say aye. Those opposed say no. Okay, motion to approve utility track plus program with facility dude. Again, this is a online based system that will put our information, kind of track our utilities, give us some ideas on how to save, hopefully save some money on utilities. For further discussion, we have a motion to approve this item. Motion, we have a second.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Any opposed say no. Okay. Next item, motion to approve abatement for the Revenue Commission Office. I believe you may have spoken with a few of us about this, but if you would, Mr. Crockett.
I don't know if everybody's got a copy of it or not, but what it is or amounts to is that came to light in our prior audit that we have a lot of old litigation bankruptcies that actually go back to 1970. And we've been carrying them over and carrying them over and carrying them over through every audit plus each year's final settlement, which was a recommendation on our examiner's part that we clean these from our records. And the only way that we can actually obey them would be seek for county commission approval. A lot of these are duplications that you'll notice, like Scottsboro and some of those that, we've been on books, and we have contacted the bankruptcy courts, and we can't find, we've gone back to, from 1970 through 2008, anything after that we kept on our books.
Questions or comments on this before we proceed? Do we have a motion then to accept the revenue commissioner's recommendation to proceed to abate these? All right, motion, we have a second? Okay, any discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye. Those opposed say no. That concludes the items on our agenda, so we'll move on to our reports. Ms. Erickson?
I don't have anything.
Mr. Widener? Mr. Porter? Sheriff Phil?
I would like to ask y'all to look into some kind of animal control ordinance. We requested a few months ago, and we did. We're still having a lot of problems around here. We can't do anything with it.
See, we have a copy of that previous ordinance, correct? We'll take a look at that. I'll take a look at that. See what we can do. Mr. Miller? Mr. Guthrie? Mr. Venable? Mr. Ledwin?
No, sir.
Quite a bunch. Thank you all for coming. That concludes everything on our agenda this evening. So with that, entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion, we have a second. All those in favor say aye. Those opposed say no.